Today, tensions between Iran and Israel have reached a new and dangerous high. In a dramatic escalation, an Iranian missile struck Soroka Medical Center, the largest hospital in Beersheba, southern Israel. Dozens of people suffered minor injuries, mostly from shattered glass and smoke, but thankfully, there were no life-threatening cases reported. But that wasn't the only target. Just north, a high-rise building near Tel Aviv was also hit by an Iranian missile. This time the damage was far more severe. 271 people were injured, with 4 in serious condition. While Israel's air defense systems intercepted the majority of incoming missiles, some slipped through, causing real destruction and fear on the ground. Now there's a worrying new twist. Israel's Home Front Command is warning the public about a new kind of Iranian missile, one that carries cluster munitions or dispersal munitions. These missiles scatter smaller explosives over a wide area, making the threat to civilians even greater. Authorities have urged everyone to stay alert for unexploded ordnance and to follow safety instructions. Israel's leadership is responding with strong words and even stronger actions. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu condemned the attacks, vowing swift and severe retaliation against Iranian military and government sites. Defense Minister Katz went further, accusing Iran of war crimes and holding Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei personally responsible. Across the country, emergency protocols are in full effect, with hospitals using underground facilities to keep patients and staff safe. But this conflict is going global. Former US President Donald Trump is reportedly considering direct US military involvement, aiming to support Israel and potentially dismantle Iran's nuclear program. Trump has given the green light to attack plans, but is waiting to see how Iran responds regarding its nuclear ambitions. Meanwhile, Israel has already struck back. Israeli jets targeted Iran's Arak heavy water reactor, a critical part of Iran's nuclear infrastructure. The International Atomic Energy Agency confirmed the facility was not operational and had no nuclear material at the time. Still, the message is clear. Both sides are willing to take bold risks. The situation on the ground in Israel is tense. Authorities continue to warn the public about the threat of unexploded cluster munitions, and emergency services remain on high alert, with the potential for further escalation and possible direct US involvement.
Here's what just happened at the G7 summit in Canada, news that's shaking up the world stage. President Trump left the G7 a day early, and it wasn't just a scheduling issue. It's all about the sudden, dramatic escalation between Israel and Iran. Let's break it down. 4 days before Trump's exit, Israel launched a sweeping aerial bombardment on Iran's nuclear sites. The goal? Cripple Iran's nuclear program. But that move has sent shockwaves far beyond the Middle East. Global leaders are scrambling. Worries about a broader war are front and center. So, Trump's at the G7 in Kananaskis, Alberta. Picture the world's most powerful leaders gathered to tackle crises together. Only, all those plans got hijacked by breaking news out of the Middle East. Trump didn't just leave early, he made headlines on social media. He posted that Tehran should be evacuated immediately. Seriously, those were his words. He also warned Iran to curb its nuclear ambitions before it's too late, and claimed Iranian leaders had 60 days to negotiate. Clearly, those talks broke down. Trump's early departure meant some high-stakes, behind-closed-doors meetings got scrapped, including talks about more defense aid for Ukraine. The summit's agenda? Out the window. G7 leaders instead rushed to issue a joint statement, urging everyone to de-escalate and doubling down on stopping Iran from getting nuclear weapons. But the reality? There's real division on how to move forward and a lot of uncertainty on what comes next. And here's another twist. Trump threatened more tariffs. Investors and markets, not happy. When major economies clash, your wallet can feel the impact, from gas prices to global trade. So, what's the takeaway? The Israel-Iran conflict is now a global crisis, not just a regional one. Trump's early G7 exit shows how fast things can change, and just how high the stakes are. World leaders are urging restraint, but the risk of military escalation is real. The G7 itself, usually a stage for unity, now looks divided on the toughest questions of global security. The coming days will be critical. Will diplomacy win out, or are we watching the start of something bigger? I'll be watching this story closely so you don't miss a beat. Make sure to subscribe if you want the latest on world news and deep dives into what's really happening behind the headlines.